103 at the Bay Area's news station, KCBS. A little windy, sunny, nice though, 50s and 60s. Good afternoon, and for Rebecca Corral, I'm Dan Mitchinson. Happening right now, it's official, schools statewide will remain closed for the rest of the school year. Governor Gavin Newsom.
That the right thing to do for our children, the right thing to do for the parents, for households, for the communities which they reside, is to make sure that we are preparing today to set our school system up where we are increasing class time, but increasing it at home and fulfilling our obligations through distance learning and other mechanisms to make sure that we're educating our kids, but not doing so physically on the school sites.
Governor making that announcement just moments ago. KCBS's Megan Goldsby is covering the governor and school closures. We'll be hearing from her later this afternoon. Some Oakland parents, meanwhile, are calling for the school district to suspend a series of planned school closures during this COVID-19 crisis. KCBS's Matt Bigler has more from the East Bay.
10-year-old Akila Norris Rahman already thought that closing her school, Kaiser Elementary in Oakland, was the wrong thing to do. But now, given the coronavirus situation, she feels even more strongly about the district's plans.
Especially in this time because we can't go visit our new schools or even say goodbye to our school friends.
A group of parents and activists is demanding that Oakland Unified pause all planned campus closures during the shelter-in-place order. Tracy, who has 2 kids at Kaiser, says many parents are dealing with food and housing insecurity, and they need the stability of their local schools.
Because children really look to their schools as a community, and when the dust settles from all of this coronavirus, COVID-19, this is what the children will be looking forward to. They will be looking to go back to these communities.
Oakland Unified says it has not yet decided on a timeline for the school closures and mergers. In a statement, a spokesperson tells KCBS they will be making changes in order to prioritize the health and safety of OUSD students and staff. In the East Bay, Matt Bigler, KCBS.
One day after a Santa Rosa police detective became the first member of California law enforcement to die from COVID-19, statewide police chiefs say it demonstrates the need for agencies to double down on safety. KCBS's Jeffrey Schaub has more live from the North Bay. Jeffrey?
Well, Dan, good afternoon. I spoke with Ronald Lawrence. He leads the California Police Officers Association. He's also the Citrus Heights Police Chief. And he says the death of Santa Rosa Detective Mary Lou Armour was what law enforcement have feared most.
We're trying to keep people calm. It's the unknown for sure, and it's unprecedented for all of us. But what would be worse is we let our behaviors be driven by our fears and anxiety.
Lawrence says departments across the state have taken far-reaching efforts to protect officers, staff, and the public.
We're mitigating as best we possibly can, as you mentioned, the personal protective equipment, but also things like as we go to calls for service, trying to get people to come outside of their homes so that we can handle those calls outside. Handling as many calls by phone as we possibly can.
And Dan, as we learned from Nevada police on Monday, in some cases, officers there may be writing citations rather than making arrests so they can limit physical contact. Reporting live in the North Bay, Jeffrey Schaub, KCBS.
All right, thanks for that update, Jeffrey. Meanwhile, I want to go back and touch a little bit more on the school closures. Despite the expert recommendations to maintain social distancing during this pandemic, California Congressman Devin Nunes complained that closing schools is, and this is a quote, way overkill. He represents areas of the Central Valley. On a Fox News interview, he said kids could probably have gone back to school in 2, maybe 4 weeks. This came just hours after President Trump warned Americans that COVID-19 death toll could exceed 100,000. And, of course, as we mentioned, Governor Newsom announcing that schools will remain closed for the rest of the school year. That just came down a short time ago. The University of California is temporarily suspending its admission requirements, citing the massive disruptions caused by the coronavirus pandemic. UC Board of Regents says that includes eliminating SAT test scores and minimum grades. The move will affect more than 200,000 prospective freshmen and transfer students who apply to the UC's 9 campuses. So a lot of moving pieces. We will continue to cover this for you throughout the afternoon with Reaction 2. Also just ahead on KCBS.
I'm Holly Kwan. Early AIDS activists say this pandemic is all too familiar.
108 right now at KCBS. We're going to head back to the roads and a little bit of good news this afternoon, George. As you mentioned, the reopening of I-5, the Grapevine.
Yes, and it's good news finally in both directions, where the southbound lanes have been open for about an hour now. The northbound lanes, traffic was being escorted in the northbound direction by the CHP. We believe that's going to lead to a full opening. So far, they have not yet released all traffic, but instead are allowing, as we say, cars up with an escort for the 101 northbound ride. Today, as yesterday, north of Marshview on Interstate 680, north of Benicia, a controlled burn underway. So if you happen to be driving past that area and see the smoke, no need to be concerned, and furthermore, no need to report it. Mill Valley and a return to 101 northbound, where we still have the right lane shut down for another hour between Seminary Drive and Tamalpais Drive. Your next update, 118, the traffic leader, KCBS.
Bay Area forecast, it has been a gorgeous morning and afternoon, too. Sunny, a little windy at times. Highs in the 50s and 60s in most areas as we look around the Bay Area. It looks like Mountain View will hit 62 this afternoon, low 60s in San Francisco, 65 in Morgan Hill, and Fremont at about 61. And then tonight, temperatures are going to drop down into the 40s. It'll be clear. It'll still be a little windy at times. And then tomorrow, more of the same, 50s to low 60s at the coast and around the bay. We'll hit mid to maybe upper 60s inland. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 8s on KCBS.
Is your sex life less than satisfying? The doctors at Prime Male Medical have the solution, and they guarantee it. Over the last 5 years, they've helped thousands of clients with performance issues.
We have a 99% success rate in treating ED.
That's Dr. Robert Rowley from Prime Male Medical, exclusively dedicated to male impotence and performance issues. Even where Viagra and Cialis have failed, Prime Male Medical has a history of success.
Most impotence problems can be treated in just one visit.
Medication is FDA approved and guaranteed. KCBS listeners get your first visit, PSA test, testosterone test, ultrasound, and a full year of free follow-up visits for just $99. That's a $695 value. For information, go to PrimeMaleMedical.com.
Prime Male Medical, with clinics in the East Bay and San Francisco. Call now 415-761-4037. That's 415-761-4037. Call 415-761-4037.
Due to the COVID-19 emergency, East Bay Regional Parks are busy and staffing is limited. To keep these parks open and safe, we need your help. Keep a safe 6-foot distance from other people. No picnicking or group outings. And with all bathrooms and water fountains closed for safety reasons, make sure you bring water and go before you go. Some parks and access points may also be closed to maintain safety and limit overcrowding. For latest information, go to ebparks.org.
Are you concerned about the coronavirus? If you are, there are things you can do. When washing your hands, scrub for 20 seconds. If you have flu-like symptoms, talk to a doctor. In fact, all health insurance plans offered by Covered California include a telehealth option, so you can get medical advice without leaving home. Fortunately, if you didn't know that additional financial help to pay for health insurance is available through Covered California, you can still sign up today. Visit coveredca.com to learn more or enroll.
KCBS News Time, 1:11. All right, let's take a look at the closing bell right now. Here's Jason Brooks.
Start to the second quarter, the Dow plunged 973 points to 20,943. NASDAQ plummeting 339 points to 7360, and the S&P down 114 points at 2470. We'll take a deeper dive into the numbers at 125.
All right, thanks for the update, Jason. As we continue our coverage this afternoon on KCBS, this virus pandemic is deja vu for some who remember the early days of the AIDS epidemic. As KCBS's Holly Kwan tells us, they say there were lessons learned that are playing out today.
In the early days, there was fear in San Francisco's Castro. Doctors couldn't figure out who, how, or why people were contracting a new deadly virus. Award-winning TV reporter Hank Plant was working at the time for KPIX5.
Nobody really cared outside the gay community back then, and outside the medical community. Today, of course, the whole country cares about it. The whole world cares about it. They have to, because everybody feels a threat from this.
Renowned gay rights activist Cleve Jones is proud to see the Bay Area mobilizing so quickly, but he says it wasn't always that way.
The government was not going to take care of us, and so we had to create those systems ourselves. We built them from nothing. We created the meal delivery programs to get food to folks who were homebound. We did the education. When the tests became available, we launched the testing campaigns. We had volunteers to care for the sick and comfort the dying.
He heard government reassurances of HIV treatments and vaccines, which he's still waiting for today, and why he watches White House news conferences now with skepticism.
When one's government is asking one to make sacrifices, to give up things we want, we have to have confidence that the government knows what it's doing. And that was a terrible challenge for us back in the 80s with the onset of AIDS. And it's a big part of the challenge now.
Holly Kwan, KCBS.
NFL owners taking a vote. We'll have more details on that and what will become of that vote with Steve in sports in 2 minutes on KCBS.
Hi, this is KCBS reporter Matt Bigler. In recent days, I've been reminded of an interview I did with my grandmother just before she died. Her earliest memory was people wearing face masks. It was the Spanish flu of 1918. I wanted to share her memory with you as a reminder that while we haven't experienced something like this in our lifetime, it has happened before. We got through it, and in the end, we'll be okay. In the meantime, KCBS is helping the Bay Area stay connected. For more, go to radio.com/stay connected.
Sleeping with CPAP can mean waking and hearing,
"Hun, there's a ring around your face."
Or,
"Dad, what's up with your face?"
If you stopped wearing CPAP because of marks and rashes, now there's Inspire. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. If you're struggling with CPAP, visit InspireSleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
The Home Depot is here to help, and we have many ways to help. You can download our app or go online to find the essential products and information you need quickly. You can order what you need online, and we can have it waiting for you at the store. Or we can even deliver over 1 million items free. And we have thousands of how-to videos for the projects and repairs you need to make. We're here to help. The Home Depot. How doers get more done.
They say you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so here at Charmin, we decided to sing about it.
Super mega rolls. Yeah. 6 rolls in one. Got rolls on rolls on rolls. TP for everyone. Charmin rolls got rolls. Super mega rolls. Super mega lasts forever. Charmin rolls got rolls.
Charmin Super Mega Roll is 6 regular rolls in one. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
6 rolls in one.
Coming up on KCBS, we'll have a look at how the hardest hit African nation is faring with COVID-19. Right now, 1:15, time to head over to the sports desk, and NFL owners are voting to expand the playoffs. Steve has the details.
NFL owners have voted to expand the playoffs from 12 to 14 teams, with the top team in each conference getting a first-round bye, with Wild Card Weekend becoming back-to-back triple headers, with the number 2 seed hosting the number 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. Since 1990, under this new format, there would have been 60 additional wildcard teams, and a quarter of them, 15, would have made it with 8-8 records. One would have made it under 500. The NFL's motivation to expand playoffs is to make more money, plain and simple. Today's the 35th anniversary of George Plimpton's priceless Sports Illustrated cover story on Mets pitching prospect Sid Finch, short for Hayden Siddhartha Finch, a Harvard dropout who studied to become a Buddhist monk in Tibet and could throw a fastball 168 miles an hour. The story was so magnificently written in such great detail that even seasoned skeptics fell for the April 1st gag. Keep in mind, this was long before radar guns were everywhere and before pitch speeds were flashed in every big league stadium. In fact, if you go back and read the story online, you'll see the first letter of the first 13 words in the story spell out April Fool's Day. At the sports desk, Steve Bitker, KCBS.
You're a small business owner, and there's nothing small about what you do. That's why Dell Small Business Technology Advisors give you trusted advice, one-on-one partnership, and tailored tech solutions, like computers with Intel Core processors, servers, storage, networking, plus thousands of top-brand electronics, accessories, and software. No matter your technology needs, Dell is here to help your small business do big things. Call 877-BUY-DELL to speak with an advisor today. That's 877-BUY-DELL.
With a Marcus by Goldman Sachs no penalty CD. There's a typo, a fixed rate guaranteed and no penalties if you withdraw your balance early?
That's right, no penalties.
Really?
Take two.
With a Marcus by Goldman Sachs no penalty CD, you get a fixed rate of 1.7% for 7 months. There are no penalties if you withdraw your balance early. And you keep the interest you earned. You can money with Marcus by Goldman Sachs. Learn more at Marcus.com.
$500 minimum balance required to earn stated annual percentage yield, which may change before account is funded. May withdraw full balance beginning 7 days after funding. Rates as of March 20th, 2020. Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Member FDIC.
Critical information.
At least 1 million Californians have lost their jobs because of COVID-19, and many more are working and earning less than usual.
Comprehensive reporting.
Streets are deserted, store shelves are emptying, so many businesses shut down around the Bay.
We are the Bay Area's news station, KCBS.
KCBS News Time 1:18. This portion of the news sponsored by Star One Credit Union. Come get the Star treatment at Star One. We are starting in Pacifica, and here's George Rask.
Where Palmetto Avenue in the 100 block in Pacifica has been shut down. A car went over the side there, that per the North County Fire Authority. And no other problems are reported for the Highway 1 ride. Mid-Peninsula traffic for 101 for Interstate 280. Fine, we're problem-free there. 101 North Bay, we still have a lane closure in effect until 1 o'clock, and this will be from Seminary Drive up to Tamalpais Drive. And for your trip on Highway 80, as you head westbound down toward the Bay Bridge, it's a pretty easy trip. This report, by the way, brought to you by Chilton Auto Body. No problems have been reported for the ride getting past there and continuing on down for the Highway 80 trip leading to the MacArthur Maze. While we adapt to the new normal, Chilton Auto Body is committed to help maintain a sense of normalcy. All 12 Chilton Auto Body locations remain open to support you and will pick up and deliver your car when it's ready for the road. Chilton. Schedule an appointment today at ChiltonAutobody.com. Your next update at 1:28 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
And let's take a look at that 6-day forecast now. Here's KPIX5's Mary Lee.
Well, a breezy day across the Bay Area with the strongest winds along the coast and right around the bay. So northwesterly winds about 20 to 30 miles per hour for the coast and for parts of the bay. As we head through the rest of our day, daytime highs slightly below average for this time of year due to onshore flow. So low to mid 60s inland, around the bay upper 50s, low 60s, and for the coast mid to upper 50s. For tomorrow, another chilly start with clear skies, plenty of sunshine in the afternoon tomorrow with daytime highs even a little bit warmer for your Thursday. Friday, mostly sunny, and then tracking 2 weather systems for a weekend. One arrives Saturday and another one on Sunday. So a wet weekend ahead, looking unsettled into early next week.
Thanks, Mary. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 8s on KCBS. KCBS News Time 1:21. South Africa is reporting over 1,300 confirmed coronavirus cases, making it the hardest hit African country so far. Deborah Pata visited one of the nation's poorest communities, the township of Alexandra in Johannesburg.
South Africa has some of the toughest lockdown regulations in the world, but enforcing them is not so easy. Here in a low-income inner-city area, security forces fire rubber bullets at those defying orders to stay at home. Shot after shot is fired as police clear the streets, the parks, anywhere people are gathered illegally. Security forces are taking no chances in South Africa. Alcohol is banned. This place is suspected of selling it. They're cracking down. And the stay-at-home order has once again laid bare the enduring fault lines in South Africa of poverty and race in places like Alexandra Township.
You've got a one-room house that has about 6 people or so. So it's still the same. You can't have 6 people stuck in one room for the whole day, for the entire day.
A lone policeman struggles to control a crowd.
They are breaking the law.
Eventually, the military was brought in to assist. That did not end well. Security forces have been filmed humiliating transgressors by making them do demeaning physical exercises. People line up to buy food, observing little of the social distancing protocols now in place.
People don't seem to be aware. Look how close they're standing in the queues.
That's the thing. It hasn't hit us.
because it hasn't happened. It's not so close to home.
But she's wrong. The worst fears of authorities have already been realized. There is at least one confirmed case of COVID-19 in Alexandra.
At least 10,000 field workers have been deployed around the country to test for the disease. Authorities are terrified that if the virus is not contained, it could exact a far higher death toll than anywhere else in the world. For CBS This Morning, Deborah Patter, Alexandra Township, Johannesburg, South Africa.
KCBS News Time, 1:23. Meanwhile, they're upset over a lack of personal protective equipment on the jobs. Nurses at one Santa Cruz County hospital. Here's KCBS's Jennifer Hodges.
Nurses at Watsonville Community Hospital in Santa Cruz County say not only is there not enough personal protective equipment for them, it's not the right kind.
We should be following the Cal OSHA guidelines, which state that the minimum requirement should be an N95 mask, and that's not the case currently. They're providing us with surgical masks, which does not meet the minimum standard.
KJ Rubalcava has been an ER nurse at the hospital for 16 years. He says nurses there have been calling on the hospital to change its decision to weaken personal protective equipment standards and cancel staff rather than prepare for a surge of COVID-19 patients.
So that we can survive this crisis through the surge and beyond the surge, but we need to have nurses that are healthy.
A spokesman for the hospital says they have plenty of N95 masks. He says this is about union negotiations and nothing more. Jennifer Hodges, KCBS.
All right, let's get back over to Jason Brooks right now at the money desk right now. Well, it just wasn't pretty, was it?
Not at all, Dan. I mean, that's been the theme over the past month and a half of the stock market, and Wall Street kicked off the second quarter with another big drop after President Trump warned that the next few weeks will be painful from the coronavirus outbreak. The Dow plummeted 973 points to 20,943. The Nasdaq dropped 339 points to 7360. The S&P down 114 points to 2470. Not too many winners out there, although Oakland-based Clorox was an exception. Obviously, its cleansers and disinfectants have been very popular during the outbreak. It shares in Clorox today up by 1%. Elsewhere, we saw car companies report some pretty bad numbers for the first quarter. Fiat Chrysler says its sales were down by 10%, and that was after February and January were strong, but that came to a screeching halt in March. Also, GM reported a 7% decline in sales. Tesla, meanwhile, we were expected to get their first quarter sales numbers here any moment, and a Bernstein analyst says that Tesla does have enough cash on hand to weather the pandemic. Tesla did have a tough day today, though. Its stock down 8%. Again, the second quarter kicks off with more selling, the Dow dropping over 970 points. On the Money Watch, Jason Brooks, KCBS.
You outlive your money. Will your savings or investments earn you enough to retire? If you're only getting 2 to 3% return on your money market, CD, or bond fund, chances are they won't. But now you can get a 10 to 12% return with no market risk. It's how smart investors have been earning double-digit returns for years. Call Reliant Capital, 800-788-1000. Reliant's clients know one of the best-kept investment secrets, and it's eligible for an IRA or 401k rollover. Call for your free brochure, 800-788-1000.
Did you get your assets kicked by the 08 recession? If so, the next one's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. If you're fed up with getting only 2 to 3% return on your CD, money market, or bond fund, here's a way to earn 10 to 12% with no market risk of any kind. Call 800-788-1000, Reliant Capital. They'll explain how you can get the returns Warren Buffett's been earning for years, 10 to 12%. And it's eligible for an IRA or 401k rollover. Reliant Capital. Call 800-788-1000 for your free brochure.
Looking for essential businesses open in your area while we shelter in place? KCBSradio.com/local has a complete list in your county. Right now, Kelly Moore Paints is open for business in the Bay Area and offering discounts, plus how-to videos for that DIY project. Visit them today at kellymoore.com. We encourage you to support your local businesses, and we are dedicated to helping the Bay Area stay connected. For more information, go to radio.com/stayconnected.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brene Brown, and I want to tell you about my new podcast, Unlocking Us. I've spent the past 2 decades studying the experiences and emotions that bring purpose and meaning to our lives. From vulnerability and courage to shame and empathy, I study what makes us human. And in this podcast, we're going to explore ideas, stories, research, experiences that reflect the most universal experiences of who we are. from our bravest moments to our most brokenhearted. Here's the thing. I want to live, love, parent, and lead with more courage and heart. And that requires conversations that help us learn, grow, and challenge what we think we know about ourselves, about each other, and about this world. You can listen and subscribe for free to Unlocking Us by me, Brene Brown, on radio.com, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts. Every time we're brave with our lives, we make the world a braver place. And I think that's what we need right now.
You're working from home. So how do you connect with coworkers and clients? With RingCentral, the #1 global communication solution for business. RingCentral makes talking, texting, collaborating, and video calls easy. And it's all on one platform. And when we say everyone should be connected, we mean it. It's why we're giving RingCentral free to educators, health providers, and nonprofits. Learn more at ringcentral.com. Welcome to the new RingCentral.
1:28 at KCBS, and back we go to George Rask.
Here's an update from Muni with a policy change. They are now having passengers board by the rear door. They are still expected to pay fares, but are using the rear doors, not the front doors, unless, of course, you have accessibility issues like a wheelchair, and then the front doors will be made available. Your next update, 1:38, the traffic leader, KCBS.
Thank you, George. Very seasonable and dry for the next couple of days. 60s in most areas. Looking ahead to the weekend, though, we will see rain moving in. It looks like Saturday, Sunday, and possibly Monday, and maybe into Tuesday, too. Temperatures a little cooler. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 8s on KCBS.
During this challenging time, Mancini's is here for you and your family, delivering comfort and support right to your door. Visit sleepworld.com.
Provident Credit Union is full of advantages, like their free Super Reward checking. You receive 2.01 annual percentage yield, free access to ATMs nationwide, and ATM fee rebates. That's 2.01% on a checking account. Visit providentcu.org. That's providentcu.org for terms and conditions. Rate effective February 13th, 2020. Federally insured by the NCUA.
News that matters to you around the Bay, around the world, around the clock. All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
Coming up on KCBS, Asked and Answered. We pose your coronavirus questions to experts. Local shop bombarded by orders, and the death toll rises in New York. More states issuing stay-at-home orders. We'll continue to cover that from CBS. And Governor Gavin Newsom, as you heard here this afternoon, says kids won't be going back to school. It will be learning from home, long-distance learning for the rest of this school year. Good afternoon, and for Rebecca Corral, I'm Dan Mitchinson, KCBS News Time, 1:31.
CBS News Update. As of midnight, Florida residents are expected to stay at home, venturing out only for essential business. That's the new order from Governor Ron DeSantis. Governor Andrew Cuomo says New York won't be the only state dealing with the virus crisis.
It's a New York problem today. Tomorrow, it's a Kansas problem and a Texas problem and a New Mexico problem.
And it's a global problem, World Health Organization head Tedros Ghebreyesus.
In the next few days, we will reach 1 million confirmed cases and 50,000 deaths.
The virus is leading to changes at the University of California. Reporter Andrew Mullenbeck.
Prospective students for the fall semester will not need to submit SAT test scores or meet minimum grade requirements. The UC president says the system needs to show flexibility to students whose final year in high school was suspended.
CBS News Update, I'm Pam Coulter.
KCBS News Time, 1:32. This portion of the news sponsored by Personal Capital. So many of us have questions about the coronavirus pandemic, from shelter-in-place rules to our finances. And in response, KCBS has launched an Ask an Expert segment that will be airing at 9:20 a.m. Monday through Friday. Today we focused on financial issues. KCBS's Stan Bunger spoke with CBS News senior business analyst and certified financial planner Jill Schlesinger.
I'm a psychotherapist in Santa Rosa, now having to work remotely from my living room. Meanwhile, I must still pay rent on my business office. I'm forced to decide whether to let it go as it's too expensive to not use. Do I have any options to help with this rent?
Well, absolutely. In fact, I would make sure that people understand that, frankly, if you're a small business and even if you're an independent contractor and if you're an individual, if the rent is due, there is a lot of relief. Pretty much every state, I know the state of California has made it a mandatory, has sort of basically banned any landlord from throwing you out. But what you should do if you're feeling tight is that you should talk to your landlord and you say, look, I'm going to be back in this building. I'm going to be able to do this. What I need is time. And you start negotiating time. That's the most important thing. I think that when we go dark on these issues, that's when you get into trouble. And I think what's also very clear from my experience is that there are some people who are now really wondering, maybe I don't need that office. And maybe saying, I don't want to welch on what a lease that I signed, but they're rethinking some of their needs going forward. I spoke to one young man. He's a therapist. He had an office. He started doing a lot of his clients via Skype. And all of a sudden, the clients are saying, I actually like this. I could get used to this. Maybe I don't have to come into your office. So people are rethinking how they work and also what's going to be best for them going forward.
Taxes not due until July 15th, 2020. Does that include federal and state? And does it include your 2019 final return as well as 2020 estimated? Where do we stand on this whole tax thing?
Okay, this is so weird because when I was asking about this to the IRS, I said, well, what about, so first of all, let me just say that your filing deadline is July 15th. Your payment would be delayed till July 15th. When I asked the IRS about when are quarterly payments due for people who are contractors, they said, well, still make your June 15th payment. And I said, what? So you mean I'm going to make my payment, my estimated payment for this year, I'm going to make my June 15th payment, and then I'm going to file and pay my other payment? Yes, just do that. And I think that that's one of those rules that's going to get shifted a bit. I will say that with your tax filing, I would be very careful about taking that extra time. Remember, 80% of filers just about get refunds. So if you need cash, go ahead and file, because if you can file electronically, you might need that cash sooner rather than later. For those who owe money, take your time, take the deadline. Pay attention to the deadlines. The filing in terms of, again, for 2019, for July 15th, that's all well and good. But if you do have quarterly payments, keep checking in. The IRS has been very good at communicating. They may shift that second payment. I'm not sure.
Okay, and this is related. Can we delay filing our taxes to July, even if we owe? In this particular case, the person asked about California taxes, but presumably they're asking about both California and federal.
Yes, you can. And I didn't answer the question about state. The states are going to follow along with the federal government. I think California already has. If you have friends living in other places, some states haven't announced that they will follow along. They will. They all will. And so too will municipalities if you are taxed at your municipal level. But yes, if you owe money, your money, it's not due until July 15th. So you have a breather. And that's for everybody, not just those who are impacted by the virus.
And I apologize if maybe you caught this. I was busy looking forward to the next question. The deadline to file has been moved to July. Has the automatic 6-month extension to October also been moved 3 months forward, making it January of 2021?
By the way, fantastic question. No, it hasn't been moved. October 15th is still the extension deadline. So that's important. Great question.
Okay. Let's see. Regarding the restrictions on eviction, 90 days or 6 months from when till when? People have a lot of confusion around this one.
Yeah. Okay. So it looks to me that this is a state by state issue, right? And from what I understand, at least from the actual federal bill, is that this will be from the time the bill is signed. And that's their 6 month. But, states and lots of cities have broader moratoriums that last 30 to 90 days beyond the federal level. So unfortunately, I must say that you're going to have to do a little digging on your state or your municipality. I think the real important piece of this is, again, you must be communicating with your landlord.
That was Jill Schlesinger, who is CBS News senior business analyst and certified financial planner. And you can listen to the entire interview with Jill and also read a transcript at kcbsradio.com. We would love to have your questions in advance. We've set up an email address for you to submit them. The email is askus@kcbsradio.com. That is askus@kcbsradio.com. So again, we have launched an Ask the Expert segment that will be airing at 9:20 a.m. Monday through Friday. And get your questions in as fast as you can. All right, it is 1:38 at KCBS. Back out to the roads we go. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. And here's George.
Back to the Grapevine, Interstate 5, which had been shut down for several hours. It was at 7:30 this morning that a truck accident occurred in which chemicals were spilled. Hazmat teams brought in. It's been over an hour now that the southbound lanes were reopened. Northbound, there are still just 2 lanes open at the scene of the incident. The 2 left-hand lanes, 2 right lanes are still shut down, but traffic is getting through and starting to flow between the Bay Area, the Central Valley, and the Southland. So that is indeed good news. In Berkeley, University Avenue on-ramps and off-ramps from Interstate 80 had work on them. They've reopened now and are cleared, so that's good news. The ride on 101 northbound, the lane closure should have been picked up in the northbound side of the roadway from Tamalpais Drive up to Paradise Drive. Should see some more access to the right-hand lane. And for the Mid-Peninsula ride, there's no slowing at the 101-92 interchange. Earlier occurring problems at Upper Skyline and 92 have also cleared up. Your next update at 1:48 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
Bay Area forecast, we have mostly sunny skies today. A little chilly, though, out there, too. Temperatures in the Bay Area currently in the upper 50s to about 60, and it looks like it'll be a chilly night, too. With lows in the mid-30s in the North Bay and the lower 40s just about everywhere else. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 8s on KCBS.
For those of you still having to get out there, Napa Auto Parts, Napa Auto Care Centers, and Napa Online are ready to help. That's Napa Know-How.
Hi, everybody. I'm reporter Tim Ryan. And like most of you, I'm staying pretty close to home during this crisis. I'm up around 3 a.m. communicating with my stellar editor, Fernie Beyer, trying to figure out what is best to tell you first thing in the morning. It is usually not good news, but it's important news, and we're proud to deliver it. We'll get through this thing together, so please stay home and stay tuned. KCBS is helping the Bay Area stay connected. For more, go to radio.com/stay connected.
Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Sonia here from Elite MD. We are committed to helping your physical, mental, and emotional well-being during these challenging times. Elite MD is now offering virtual consultations in the convenience and safety of your own home. Visit our website and get 20% off your favorite medical-grade skincare and extended savings on all our popular services. A portion of the proceeds will be donated to helping hospitals and our frontline healthcare workers. Call 1-833-Dr. Sonia to schedule your virtual consultation today or visit us online at elitemdspa.com. Remember, we are one and we will be stronger together.
The art of luxury. The art of style. Tap into your unique personal style at All Natural Stone. All Natural Stone houses the Bay Area's most extensive collection of tile and stone, including a coveted inventory of exotic natural stone, marble, as well as a variety of porcelain slab. Their 4 showrooms in Burlingame, Berkeley, Dublin, and San Jose showcase the finest porcelain tiles, handmade ceramics, and artisan glass available. Your artistic options are limitless. All Natural Stone, the art of living. Visit them online at allnaturalstone.com.
Fremont Bank. We're a bank above. Because unlike the others, we build locally owned branches, fill them with locally grown experts, and offer our clients local loans. That way your money starts in the community and stays here in the community, where it belongs. And we've been doing this since 1964. Well, before that whole farm to fork thing was a thing. Fremont Bank. Learn more at fremontbank.com. Equal housing lender.
KCBS News Time, 1:42. Who says people aren't buying luxury items during this pandemic? When it comes to alcohol, we may have to throw that rule out. As KCBS's Megan Goldsby reports, the phone is ringing off the hook at a popular San Francisco shop.
When I dialed May at True Sake in Hayes Valley, she did not have long to talk.
Oh my gosh, we've been getting so many responses. I think
we need more people to help fulfill the orders.
But they can't do that, of course, so she is filling most of the orders all on her own. At first, True Sake just closed.
A lot of people emailed us saying, we want to help out, we want to buy gift cards, what can we do, we want to order from you. So we let it kind of sit for a week, and people were still emailing us, so we decided, let's put some procedures in place.
That includes online ordering